Good evening. My name is Winston Michael Ray. First and foremost, I want to give my obedience and thanks to the Creator who has allowed me to be here with you today. I'm 60 years old and I've seen a lot of things, and I simply want to thank Him. There's not enough words to thank the Most High Yah. But Heavenly Father, to the world, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here today and creating me and sustaining me even before I was born. Up to this second as I speak, and I'm about to deliver a message I feel that the world is ready to hear now. So without further ado, I want to say today, this Tuesday, August the 28th, 2018, the 55th year anniversary of the great March on Washington, D.C., led by the man on this shirt, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We're making this broadcast. In the real sense, this is my version of a 21st century I Have a Dream speech. Now, what I'm about to say will garnish a lot of different emotions. Some people will be happy, some people will be sad, some people will find it funny, some people will be angry, some people will be this, and some people will be that. Well, as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, my 20th century socioeconomic movement counterpart, and he's much more than that, I'm going to get into that in a minute, after he told one of his associates, I believe it was Stokely Carmichael at the time, he said, Stokely, one of his aides, I'm stand to be corrected if need be, I'm getting ready to throw myself off a cliff. And his aide said, what do you mean, Martin? He said, I'm getting ready to speak out on an issue that will upset and anger a lot of people in this country and abroad, particularly in my government. But Martin, what are you talking about? What are you going to talk about? He said, I'm getting ready to speak out on the war, or why I oppose the war in Vietnam. Well, sir, as my grandfather would say, he just opened up a big can of peas. Well, I feel the same way today on this 55th anniversary of the March on Washington. Let's get to the meat of the problem, the issue. Well, first of all, I want to say, by no means, I'm not a speaker. I'm a lousy speaker. But I feel what has to be said, I think, will be adhered to, and people will get the message. Well, as I said, I want you to see this picture, as we all know of Reverend Dr. King, as I stand up. We're all familiar with him. A very charming man, intellectual man, smart man, compassionate man. As far as I'm concerned, nothing but good things to say about him. But there's something little bit more was added to his character. I think he sensed it. I think people around him sensed it when he was living, but they didn't see the full picture. Well, that's where I come in. I'm ready to show and prove to the nation, America, the United States of America, and nations of the world, that Moses, biblical Moses and biblical Joshua, respectfully in the Bible, were actually rights leaders in the 20th and 21st century. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was actually biblical Moses, and I, Winston Michael Ray, am actually biblical Joshua. Well, you're going to find me using a lot of little southern language. It's not offensive, it's euphemisms, and I think they need to be said. I imagine a whole heap of folk is saying that boy just opened up a big can of peas. Wait a minute, let me get this right. You're saying you have Dr. King had the spirit of Moses, and you have the spirit of Joshua. That's what you're really saying, right? I said, no, sir. No, ma'am. I'm saying Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was Moses, and I am Joshua. Let me prove it. And first of all, I want to show you this here. We're spiritual identical twins. Okay? Spiritual identical twin. Now, as you know, twins, biological, spiritual, otherwise, they have similarities. They basically think alike, behave alike, do a lot alike. And definitely, if they're identical, unless you know their character, I've been knowing them for a little while, you can't tell one from the other. Well, I would like to see myself in that vein. And I see myself as a spiritual, identical twin of Martin Luther King Jr., i.e. biblical Moses. Now, first of all, I want to say this to all the archaeologists and scientists and scholars and historians, folks like that. You say, well, wait a minute. We have nothing but proof, overwhelming, incontrovertible proof, that the children of Israel's story was 10,000 years ago. All this happened. You're 10,000 years late, pal. I said, well, wait a minute now. That could be true. You may have all of the evidence that the Red Sea opened up and children of Israel went through there and crossed on over, and Pharaoh's army was drowned, and Moses killed the man, and all of this. The whole story. What was his name? Charlton Heston. He did a pretty good job. I like that. Hollywood, I tell you this. Hollywood is something else. But now, if that did happen, and all that's fine and good and dandy, guess what? History has repeated itself thousands of years later. You know, there's an old saying, there's nothing new under the sun. Certainly, this could pertain to that story, the children of Israel. So, for those who want to hold on to, well, if you say what you want, I'll go with the old story and how they wrote it, and I'm going to stick with that along with everything else in the Bible. I have no problem with it. But now let's try this on for size. As the Library of Congress says, I and many people will agree, the most powerful library in the world in Washington, D.C., it says that the children of Israel, the prophecy of Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 through 45, started on April the 1st, 1555. Now I got to thinking, why 430? Why not an even 500 or even 1,000 or even 400? Why 430? Why? I always was an inquisitive little fella. My grandmother, maternal grandmother, who reared me and my older brothers and sisters, I'm the youngest of 5, used to just get fed up with me and say, I don't know, because God says so. Ooh, this boy asks too many questions. Let me go fix, Grandma gonna go fix your nice breakfast. And here, eat this donut and calm your spirit down. He said, baby, God gonna give you the answer to all that one day. Just keep on praying and studying. And she left it at that. She got rid of me in short order. Bless her heart. But anyway, my little talk won't be long because there's so much to be said. And if I literally took the whole day to talk to you, I wouldn't have covered much. But this is an invitation I want to extend to any organization, religious, political, rights organization, civil rights, alt-right, any organization, I would like an opportunity to meet with your leaders, whoever is representing those organizations. The Nation of Islam, I'd like to meet with the leader of the Nation of Islam here in the United States. I would like to meet with the leader of whose father started Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the son, I should say. I would like to meet with the leader of the alt-right organization. I won't call names, they know who they are. And I would like them to call me on my personal cell at area code 347-855-1704. And let's talk about some things and see if we can present our cases to what we believe and what we stand for before the American people on this upcoming September the 13th, 2018. I'm recording this message from where I'm living at here in Queens, New York, at the Quality/Retreat Inn, located at 138-68 94th Avenue, room 207. We're ready with the information that I have, proving that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was that Moses, the young man, aged with wisdom and knowledge, who he himself said, I'm sure many times before he made the final public statement, on April the 3rd, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, that he himself will never see the promised land, the mountaintop speech. They said, well, wait a minute now. Moses killed the man. He sure did. That was Martin Luther King. He said, now see, that's where you're wrong, Winston/Biblical Joshua. Martin Luther King was nonviolent. Yes, he was. So how did he kill someone? I never said he killed someone violently. I just said he killed the man. Who is this man he killed? Jim Crow. He killed Jim Crow with love, with patience, with endurance, with understanding, with acts of kindness, with nonviolence. But he still killed him because Mr. Crow is no longer with us. And that was the father. Now, Jim Crow Jr., economic Jim Crow, which is existing today, that is keeping the poor and the middle class, or certain parts of the middle class struggling, we're going to get him too, with kindness and patience and love, and those higher methods. We don't need to, these are allegorical and symbolic menaces to society. So, I should say we're using allegorical and symbolic methods to kill something that is really real. So I hate to use that term. But anyway, I hope this is streaming live, and I hope everyone who sees this share this with someone on social media. You have my permission. I also want to refer you to a video, really two videos I did about a week ago, last week, in the month of August 2018, but today is the 28th. It was about 10 days ago, somewhere. I'm sure it'll show it on the video. But I encourage everyone to go and look at my previous videos. That's two. One of me standing up, another one of me sitting down in room 207 at the Quality/Retreat Inn here in Jamaica, Queens, New York, 138-68 94th Avenue. to type in one word, Truth at Last Ministries. And, well, I think you need to see that video. I'm just going to leave it at that, or those videos. We're going to end revenue segregation and economic Jim Crow in this country. We're going to market $100 or more of undeniable, incontrovertible intelligence information to 1 billion or more people worldwide, the whole planet Earth, United Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere, and any other hemispheres that we don't know about, every year. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that's about $100 billion. That's enough money to see that nobody ever lose the things that are dear to them. Their home, their cars, clothing, medicine, food, storage lockers with valuables only they should have, school bills that's up to $3,000. I can go on and on and on. But this is the 50-year divine delayed poor people's campaign. So, I have to prove that America is Egypt land, land of affliction. Black Americans are the children of Israel. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was biblical Moses. And I, Winston Michael Ray, is biblical Joshua. I'm also Winston Smith in the June 6, 1949 20th century publication entitled George Orwell's 1984. Now, little do the reverends know in the world, for that matter, because I'm about to tell you, they'll know now, that that book is the only one I know of. There could be others, but we're only going to focus on this one now, that attached to a biblical scripture. So when you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68, and Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 through 45, and George Orwell's 1984, published June 6, 1949, they all intertwine, they all connect, and they all connect with America, blacks in America, the 430-year sojourn, and the man to lead us to a new era entitled Socio-Economic Independence, called the Promised Land. So America, please call me. Go to those videos. Truth at Last Ministries, TRIES, one word. You'll see me standing with a black jacket, and it'll speak for itself. Also, type in Winston for President 2012 on YouTube, and you'll see my Winston Smith look in George Orwell's 1984. Also, you can reach me at silverrights@mail.com. Spell SILVERRIGHTS @mail.com. Not Gmail, not fat. It's mail.com. And the Silver Rights is one word with 2 R's. Silver Rights. Yeah. So leaders of be it left wing, right wing, chicken wing, political leaders, you give old Josh a call. That's me. How you like the beard? Huh? Like that? I like it. Now, I'm looking Joshua-ish because I'm Joshua. That stuff never happened. You know what? I think 80% of the Bible is one big cartoon book. Bunch of yazoos. You know what I think them boys ain't had nothing better to do but put that stuff together? Now, no. I got to agree with my socioeconomic counterpart, Martin Luther King, who was biblical Moses. And he made a statement, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, certainly you can't deny the truths that the Bible teaches you about how to conduct yourself and treat others and and book of wisdom and common sense, right from wrong knowledge. But you're missing a part that a lot of it is simply not true. It's allegorical and symbolic. It really is. Now, I'm not going to let a big fairy tale book stand in the way of me generating $99 billion or more per year. I just plain can't allow that to happen. So anybody, after we, and I would say divine prophecy, this goes worldwide on the, let me get it right, 114th year birth date anniversary of the biological mother of Martin Luther King, Miss Alberta King. Rest her soul, bless her heart. Yeah, Miss Alberta King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's mother, was born September the 13th, 1904. And my maternal grandmother, Mrs. Evelina Pierre Ray, who is the mother of the worldwide SILVERS Civil Rights Movement, because she reared me, the worldwide civil rights leader. This is her 44th year, September 13, 2018, coming up. 41st year of her earthly passing. She left this world on September the 13th, 1977. I was the only grandchild that witnessed her earthly passing. Yeah, it's no longer there, but it was in New Orleans, Louisiana at 2409 and a half Gravier Street, a little apartment we shared. And her daughter and son-in-law had the house up front, and our other son had the one in the back. She was my grandmother. She was getting up in age, and she was there for me. By golly, I was there for her. But get this, out of all of her 22 grandchildren, me being the 18th grandchild, not only was I born on Mrs. Evelina Pierre Ray's 62nd birthday. I was born February 4th, 1958. She was born February 4th, 1896. I was the only grandchild she saw being born. I was a midwife baby. I was a little whippersnapper. I was ready to come on out and meet the world. So, I have tons of information. You wouldn't. I think I have just about as much information or close to it as the Library of Congress. But you'll find all that out to be true. So let's get this thing going. Call me. I'm not offended at what you ask, how you ask it, if you ask it, when you ask it, where you ask it. Don't matter to me. But I know that we're ready to end revenue segregation and economic Jim Crow. Isn't that a beautiful thing? No one ever have to be homeless. A word about becoming homeless. Any bill they can't pay, delinquent bills, we have it. If you're not working, we'll take care of you until you become gainfully employed. I may take 3 months up to 6 months. I can go on and on. But with all due respect to the legal chattel, the chattel slavery era, which was the first part of our prophecy from April 1st, 1555, ending April 1st, 1855. Then legalized segregation, 1855, that's another 100 years, to 1955. There you go, your 400 right there. And then the remaining 30 years, pardon me, from 1955 to 1985. You know, the Bible said that Moses, Martin Luther King Jr., came to his people in the 400-year bondage. Well, again, from 1555, April 1st to 1955, they go to 400. April 1st of 1955. Martin Luther King Jr. was in Montgomery, Alabama. Well, a year before that, but he stepped out on the world stage on December the 5th, 1955. Oh, we have the proof. We're not here to argue with anyone. So, take a good look at Martin Luther King, Moses, Winston Michael Ray, that's me, Joshua. Let's get the party started. Now, the American people need to know how all of this biblical Joshua and Moses talk is going to benefit them economically. Oh, I reckon we can generate, let's see, a minimum of 100 billion every year for 10 years. That's $1 trillion. You know, I have a side plan to pay off America's deficit to other nations in full. I won't tell you about that. What a mighty God we serve. I don't know what else to tell you. Prove me wrong. Put me on CNN. Let me make a fool out of myself. What you say? What you say? Let's have some fun. To the state of Israel, I respect you. I love you. Truly I do. But you're simply not the children of Israel. You're the state of Israel. And your job was to hide our identity. And we appreciate that. I really do. What was his name? David Ben-Gurion. Fine fella he was. And as your book says, my book says, he did start the state of Israel. Keep in mind, we're the only people, black Americans, who had a leader say, just the night before he died, I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. Yes, and so I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Now, why would this young man make such a statement? Literally, I repeat, literally, before he died in the wilderness. You know how Moses died, huh? With an assassin's bullet. Old Pharaoh got a little upset with old Moses. Said, now we get a little tired of this mess. Lord said, that's all right, I'm going to take old Moses on. You know when Moses, Dr. King died, if you look at this, the pictures of his assassination scene, in red lettering, as it has always been, you see the words exit. The very last word Moses said to someone down below was, play precious Lord. Take my hand. Well, he obliged him. So, I'm going to go ahead and do something that I'm piggybacking on. Yes, to Richard Spencer, the leader of the alt-right white supremacist group, to Elder Bernice King and her older brother, Marty Luther King III, to Minister Louis Farrakhan, charming minister of the Nation of Islam, charming fellow. All of them are really. I would like to debate you. Let's bring this thing out into the open. As my counterpart would say, where everybody could see it, Dr. King. You're not afraid of old Josh, are you? Mm-hmm. You have information. Remind me of what that little guy used to say on that show. Who was Webster? I know something you don't know. Remember, in closing, on the 55th year anniversary of Dr. King delivering his eloquent I Have a Dream speech, this August the 28th, 2018, Winston Michael Ray / Biblical Joshua / Winston Smith in Orwell's 1984. And I am the chairman of the new and improved KGB. Oh, yes, I am. So, Vlad, you and those boys are listening over there to this little tape. Well, now. We got a new and improved KGB. Oh, I was a little bit better than yours. I mean, y'all did all right, but Oh boy, this is a humdinger. Oh, I have so much more to say. So I'm going to have to cut it off now. You give old Josh a call on his cell at area code 347-855-1704. May God bless you. You be good, you hear? Bye-bye.